Hey everyone, and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got a breaking news report coming out from Russia, and in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about Russia's oil refineries. As for over the past couple weeks, we've been seeing Ukrainian forces carrying out massive drone attacks on some of these facilities located inside of Russia, and in many cases, some of them have been shut down for up to a month or longer due to the extensive attacks with these drone strikes. And today I have a report I want to share with you that's indicating that Russia may lose several major oil refineries, and these could be shut down forever due to permanent damage. So I want to talk about this today. Let's jump into this report here on your screen. Major refineries disabled by Ukrainian drones risk permanent damage. Ukrainian strikes on Russian oil refineries have disabled a significant share of processing capacity, leaving the country grappling with a gasoline shortage. Wholesale fuel prices hit record highs. Okay, this is something we've been talking a lot about recently. I even gave you guys an update, I believe it was yesterday, regarding a massive fuel shortage ongoing inside of Russia right now. This is due to Ukraine destroying a lot of these oil refineries inside of Russian territory. We've had at least four for sure. These are major oil refineries in Russia that have shut down for at least a month, if not longer, due to the destruction of these facilities with these drone attacks. So I want to talk more about this today. We're going to jump into a report discussing this, and then we're also going to jump into an X post as well that has information on the Druzhba oil pipeline. As earlier today, I let you guys know that Ukrainian forces attacked the Uneka oil pumping station, which is in the Bryansk region of Russia, connected to the Druzhba oil pipeline. And we heard that oil flows over to eastern countries in Europe, for example, Hungary and Slovakia, heavily complaining about this today, due to the stop of these fuel supplies or oil supplies going to these nations. So let's jump into this. Let's hop on over here real quick to the Moscow Times. It says Russia may lose several major oil refineries forever due to drone attacks. This is coming out today, August 22nd, 2025. And you can see here, this actually does say 3 hours ago, but it is in Russian. I had it translated into English. And it says right here, Ukrainian drone strikes on Russian oil refineries, which resumed in August and affected at least 7 major refineries, could cause irreparable damage to the domestic oil refining industry, warned Sergei Vakulenko, a senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. Since the beginning of the month, drone attacks have completely shut down the Syzran, Novokuybishevsk, Saratov, and Volgograd refineries in Russia. These are the 4 that we've been talking about over the last week. Inside Russia, Rosneft's Ryazan refinery, which supplies fuel to Moscow and the region, have stopped half of its capacity. Drone attacks have also hit the Slavyansk, Efipsky, and Novoshakhtinsky refineries. We've talked about all these as well. These are other refineries that have not been confirmed to be shut down, but they have been hit and heavily damaged. These refineries could be out of action for a long time or even forever, Vakulenko told the Financial Times. Last year, Ukrainian drone strikes already dropped oil refining in Russia to a 12-year low of 267 million tons. But back then, the strikes were numerous but scattered and usually affected one refinery at a time, notes Vakulenko. Now, he notes, the campaign is aimed at all refineries in key regions of consumption and refining and could lead to unprecedented consequences for the fuel market. The UAV strikes hit refineries that are among the country's largest: Volgograd, which is Lukoil Company, 14.8 million tons per year; Ryazan, which is owned by Rosneft, 13.8 million tons per year. As a result, at least 10% of oil refining capacity was knocked out in just over 2 weeks, estimates Sergei Kaufman, an analyst at Finam. So this is something we talked about as well. Just 2 days ago, there was reports coming out, I believe it was the Financial Times. They were stating that in total, with all these 4 refineries that are for sure shut down right now, there's a total of at least 13% of oil refining capacity that has been destroyed inside of Russia with these recent strikes. It also says here, to cover the deficit, the government imposed a complete ban on gasoline exports from Russia. This should add about 150,000 tons of fuel to gas stations. However, even with the export ban, domestic demand is not fully satisfied, Kaufman notes. Yeah, that's very true. Like I just told you guys, we've been hearing massive fuel shortages ongoing in Russia, especially in the far eastern side in the Primorsky Krai region, closer to like China and North Korea. There's been massive fuel shortages over there. We've even heard of fuel shortages inside of Crimea. That's occupied territory held by the Russians in Ukraine, and also even in some areas like Krasnodar, Rostov-on-Don. There's been reports of even semi trucks sometimes sitting on the roads for miles waiting to get fuel as well. So there is more information on this article. I'll cite it down below in the description for you guys. If you want to read some more of that, it's talking more about this gasoline shortage inside of Russia and Crimea. But real quick, now I want to give you guys an update on the Druzhba oil pipeline today, as we talked about this earlier this morning. Let's hop over here now to War Translated on X. And it says the European Commission confirmed it received a complaint from Hungary and Slovakia after the latest Druzhba pipeline attack, which both countries called a threat to Russian oil supplies. Brussels said the incident does not affect EU energy security and reminded member states to maintain emergency reserves. So it looks like we had Hungary actually submitting a complaint to the European Commission today regarding this strike because their oil flows from Russia have been cut off due to Ukraine striking the Uneka oil pumping station in the Bryansk region of Russia today. So here's another statement. It says, Hungarian Foreign Minister Szijjártó said the latest Druzhba pipeline attack caused much greater damage as both drones and missiles were used. He discussed the technical impact to Russia's deputy energy minister, who promised repairs in at least 5 days. Szijjártó urged the EU to act against further disruptions. This was a statement from Peter Szijjártó today. This is the foreign minister out of Hungary. He says, after yet another Ukrainian attack on the Druzhba oil pipeline, we discussed the consequences with Russian Deputy Minister Pavel Sorokin. This strike is even more serious than the previous ones, as Ukraine used not only drones but also rockets. My Russian counterpart assured me they will rebuild the supply route as fast as possible, but repairs will take at least 5 days. Let's hope the EU Commission finally uses this time to act on its promise and stand up to Ukraine's attempts to block Hungary's oil supply. So yeah, they have submitted a formal complaint to the European Commission. We'll see what the EU decides to do regarding that, as these oil supplies are now cut off from the Druzhba oil pipeline going into Hungary. And it states here 5 days, okay? 5 days up to a week, maybe even longer, depending on how these repairs go. And I showed you guys video footage of the Uneka oil pipeline. There was a massive fire over there. And according to Peter Szijjártó, it wasn't only drones that struck this facility, it was also rockets. So I'm thinking maybe this was like rocket drones, or could this have been maybe a HIMARS attack? We don't really know. I'm not sure if HIMARS can reach that far into the Bryansk region. They might be able to. But regardless, it looks like some sort of rockets were being used to strike that facility, which obviously would cause major damage compared to drones, considering they have a much heavier warhead. So that's crazy update there regarding the situation. So 5 days, the Druzhba oil pipeline is going to be shut down. Last time this happened, when we had attacks on the Druzhba oil pipeline, it was maybe within 24 to 48 hours that the Russian authorities were able to get the Druzhba oil pipeline back online. So it looks like Ukraine really does not want Russia using this Druzhba oil pipeline. They're really trying to cut off these oil flows, even to some of the oil refineries located inside of Belarus, which are processing this crude oil coming from the Druzhba oil pipeline as well. So they're also trying to affect Belarus at the same time. So crazy situation, guys. Russia's in big trouble here with their oil refineries being shut down. Some of them could possibly be taking on permanent damage, be shut down for an extended period of time, if not forever. And then on top of that, we've got 5-day repairs that are going to be taking place here with the Druzhba oil pipeline, maybe even longer. So you can see a crazy situation inside of Russia when it comes to fuel and oil. Definitely not good news for the Russians. And I want to thank you guys very much for being here. Thanks so much for your patience, too. I'm still not feeling too good right now. My voice has been very shaky and rocky today. Not doing too good, but we'll get better. I've got some medicine. We're feeling a little bit better today, but we'll see how things go tomorrow. And I want to thank you guys very much for being here. Let me know what you think about all these details down below in the comment section. That's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.